I just want to eat ice cream again and get paid to do it.
This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
Yeah.
Shout out, yeah.
This is going to be the start of John Chris' mixtape. Shout out.
That's a T-Pain song. How you doing, Pada?
Doing well.
We didn't even bother changing clothes. We didn't even try.
That was bike hoodie. That's what I used to wear every single day.
That hoodie was in my closet for months at one point in time. That was during the summer, though. You didn't need it.
Yeah.
And then it got colder, and you were like, hey.
Where's that hoodie?
Can I get that hoodie off from you? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I just realized that I forgot to come up with intro music before we started.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, you need to connect to the
I'm
thing.
connected. Yeah.
You are? Oh, brother. Hey, brother. Do you have an introduction? I got. Do you want to introduce yourself, or do you?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to play the music first? I can riff. Riffity riff, riff, riffity riff, 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 riff,
I'm just pulling
riff,
up a
riff, 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 riff,
I am
riff.
a super intelligence. I'm trying to determine
I have to get
if I'm
YouTube
destroying
Premium
the
just for
planet.
this show.
Can you turn down the volume on your phone just a second?
Okay. I just want a rap beat, so I typed
You
in
want a
rap
rap
beat,
beat.
and this is the first thing that came up.
Turn it down just a little bit more.
So my intro is that I'm a Mormon. It's never boring. Milk is pouring. That's all I thought of.
Milk is pouring, I'm sleeping, I'm snoring. Wake up, another gallon I'm pouring. Your boy Mormon, your boy Mormon. Guess what? Your boy Mormon.
Revelations coming in hot.
Hot.
I'm always gonna be a Mormon.
Mormon.
It's all I got.
Got. Wake up in the night with a cold sweat. Revelations coming off my hot breath as I'm speaking, I'm preaching, I'm talking, I'm thinking, I'm revelation, hot and sweating.
Let's make it of November to remember.
Remember.
Nothing like this.
Nothing like December. What is it? This is the episode we rap all the way through it. Don't know really how we are gonna do it, but we are committed. We're both in a duet.
When we run out of ideas, we'll just read an email.
Email.
Shama, can you pull up the Gmail?
It's late in the day. Should have done this earlier.
What rhymes with that? Don't know.
Sending a mail courier.
There you go.
We got 1, 2,
Yeah.
3 cameras in the studio. I might eat a couple of Oreos. This so far extremely incriminating.
Yes.
They were the same guys who've written way too many songs, and we're struggling because this all right now is off the dome. And really, how good can you do if it's off the dome? You want to sit down, prep, write, create, do everything that you need to do to make something best. Use a hive mind.
Yeah.
It's like that African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you got to go together. And we are going together.
Why does that
It's
sound?
Chat Stories Podcast. Chat Stories Podcast. It's Chat Stories Podcast. That's how my dad would say it. Rest in peace.
When you started doing
Chat
the
Stories
African accent
Podcast.
over the beat, I was like, why does it sound like legit though? Like,
If you wanna go far, you gotta go together.
yeah. But it's November. Don't forget about Mitt Romney.
Mitt
He's
Romney.
coming down the chimney. He's gonna give you some milk.
Some milk and honey. It's the promised land. We are Mormons.
Yeah. Promised land. It's promised, fam. Mitt Romney's gonna be in the office again. 2024, 2025, 2027, and 2029.
2020 alive. 2020 no die. We got Pringles in the studio. Who's paying for that? PD's got a bike hoodie. Who bought him that?
That would be me. I drove there myself with my bike.
And your
I rode on
infinite
my
wealth.
bike.
You got a lot of wealth. This podcast makes six figures of
Six figures of money. All right.
we got. Do we want to rap more?
This is what happens when nobody's. Nobody, we don't have a guest.
This was 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Please stop. Guys, long story short, find a better podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
What is
Sweaty
it about me
revelations.
being at night? That I feel like it's just a different
A little
vibe.
loopier, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like an actual show.
Yeah.
Because shows don't happen in the daytime.
Right. And then also during the day, we're like, all right, we got to wrap this up. We got to go to lunch.
Yeah. I got to go to lunch or I got to go to work. Or
Yeah, you got to do something else like afterwards. But this is this is the last thing we got to do today. Hey, my name is Shama, and I have gotten 2 speeding tickets in school zones during school hours.
Oh.
That's I'm not proud. That's just a fun fact about me. I'm introducing myself. True facts. True facts, no feelings.
My name is PD, and I'm really white, and I'm just embracing it. I'm wearing khakis. It's like look, I just gotta. I know that I'm super white, so it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna play the part, and I'm gonna put khakis on.
You also have shoes. You've been wearing those shoes for too long.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about the shoes I wear, so I'll just pick one. I'll be like, all right,
Guys,
2 months.
Okay, listen.
2 months of these.
Guys, listen. I can do this on my own, but I want your support. Venmo me at Shama the number 4 reels. Venmo me. This Christmas, we're gonna buy PD some really nice shoes.
You're gonna get me
for
some
the podcast.
Christmas shoes?
We're gonna buy some shoes for PD, please. Venmo me. I'll take screenshots of everybody who Venmos. Venmo me any amount. However much money we get in, that's how much money we're gonna spend on shoes, and whatever taxes involved, I'll pay.
Yeah.
I'll fork out the extra. But listen, if you watch the show, if you want PD to have ugly shoes, send in 2 cents. All right. If you want PD to have nice shoes on this podcast, send in money, please. We don't ask for much. We don't do ads. We keep it G.
We're just taking an
all right?
offering.
We're taking up an offering. Your money is gonna go to a great place. It's gonna put shoes on a pale white boy who right now is wearing. What are those?
I don't know. Cheap. That's what
Guys,
they are.
now more than ever, every dollar counts. Every dollar donated will go towards PD shoes.
These are the shoes I wear to the peddler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, my man's only has 1 pair. Now more than ever. Guys, this is just
I have
this is the
more
Christian
shoes.
radio donation week. It's like, guys, ding ding ding. That's another donation. The PD shoes. The PD shoe fund. We're gonna be updating you guys on Instagram about what the pot is at.
And then
Right now the pot is at $0. Donate right now.
Contributions for less than $500 go to the Shama and PD Vacation Fund.
Yeah, vacation fund.
Yeah, that's a different
We're gonna
thing.
go to Mexico. If the first international podcast is gonna go to Mexico.
Yeah, that's just in the fine print.
But listen, guys, donate, please donate. I'm gonna get PD some shoes for Christmas.
Get PD some Christmas shoes.
Yeah.
We should do an EP where we just do a bunch of parodies of Christmas songs. And Christmas shoes is one of them. I have a voice message from Taylor Ransom.
You do.
Yeah, for this show. So
God bless.
Let's play it.
The Shama Church Stories podcast. This is Taylor Ransom, and I'm calling in because I have a revelation. I got a revelation over the course of the Movember process, which is where we drink milk and become Mormons for the month. And I didn't recognize when this movement started and I became a part of it that my life would be flipped upside down. But here we are, and I just gotta tell my truth. I gotta put this revelation out there because this is what was revealed to me. And some people might say it's heretical. Some people might say that it's, not Christian. It's not Christ-like. It's not a Christian thing to say. Some people might say it's controversial. You know what? I don't care. The truth has to get out there, and this is new ground for me as well as anybody else. So don't hate me. But when I got done drinking my first glass of milk this morning as part of Movember, before my second glass of milk, which would be an hour later, I had a realization, and I honestly, I don't even know how to say this, so I'm just going to say it, and that is McAllister's Deli Sweet Tea is significantly better than Chick-fil-A Sweet Tea. Now, I know you heard what I just said, and you guys are going to say I'm off the rails. I've absolutely lost it, but listen to me. McAllister's Deli Sweet Tea is so much better than Chick-fil-A Sweet Tea. It's not even comparable. And I'm almost mad at myself now for starting the Movember thing, for drinking this milk, for getting this revelation, because I don't know how I'm going to live my life now. And honestly, we should probably just do what John Smith did, which is put ourselves on top of a secret society that brings in billions of dollars every year tax-free. Or at least I wish I could do that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not that far into the Movember process. But just wanted to give that revelation. Thank you for giving me your platform to spread this truth that I think everyone will agree with if they go and try it. So thank you.
Amen, brother.
Wow.
Amen,
So
brother.
that's Taylor Ransom, part
Guys,
of Movember.
You can catch Taylor Ransom on rest in peace. Formerly the podcast formerly known as the
we had
Freak
2
Fight Podcast.
episodes on
Yeah.
the trial of Shama Marema,
Yes.
which was it's very fun.
Yeah, very fun. Very fun. Well, it's been good. How's your Morvember been going?
Well,
Movember.
I mean, I think when this drops, it'll be over.
Okay.
But I think that, I mean, just, like me being the grassroots organizer of all of this, I feel very successful. I feel like we've had a lot of people join the movement, a lot of people putting glasses of milk on their Instagram stories. And then me putting that out there, it's just got everybody really excited about what we're going to do next November. We're just going to keep drinking milk. We're going to keep finding stuff out.
Is this like a post-game interview? Like, we're going to keep listening.
Dude,
the first quarter, man, they kind of had us. But, I mean, we're going to keep drinking milk. We're going to keep running the ball. We're going to keep making plays. Man,
I love coach speak.
The whole, like, woo.
Yeah.
My favorite is the guy who, the Louisiana head coach, who's like, "Go Tigers!" Joe, what's his name?
That dude.
I can't remember his name. I don't know football. I don't know football, y'all.
Coach O.
Yeah. That's what he goes by.
And he talks.
Go Tigers. He sounds like a dude doing a character of a coach. I do a thing now where when I see somebody, I'm like, I envision that I'm in a TV show, and then that person who I'm interacting with was the perfectly cast person, So it's like, if you go to, like a restaurant, and you're a little bummed, and and the lady comes up, or the waitress comes up, she's like, "How you doing, sweetie? You look like you need I'm gonna get you a sweet tea." That right there, you're like, wow, if this was a show, if this was a movie, and I felt like how I felt, you would need somebody like that to be like, you look like you need some dessert,
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's what you would say. So I feel like God is the executive producers, casting all these people.
Yeah.
Where you get your car towed by somebody and you're like, you look like you would tow cars. Not a bad thing, but it's the perfect part for the perfect person.
But then they're the side character in your movie, but in their own movie, they have another million set of side characters that are different than the side character. It's a lot to think about.
It's a lot to think about. Yeah.
Somebody was saying, like, when you go over like thousands of houses in a plane, each person has their own movie basically.
Yeah.
And then like all these like revolving characters.
Right. It's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
Man, every time you and I get into these episodes alone, it gets this is what we need a voice of reason, man. No, but I think it is, super crazy. It's like a little thing,
Yeah.
It's like a little thing, and you get so excited about your a thing, like PD and I, we're potentially could be a part of a really great opportunity, a life-changing opportunity. But at the same time, it's like, if it doesn't happen, cool.
Yeah.
But if it does happen, fine. We're still a part of this movie, right? This movie called Church Stories, where you're a part of your movie and I am a part of mine with my family. So I'm like, whatever happens is a B character. It's a B list. Movie. Yeah. Crazy. Hey, we're going to read some movies.
Yeah.
Some emails. I don't even know where to start, man. Okay, so we got a SoundCloud Christian suggestion. Okay. Hold up a second.
Someone emailed us. SoundCloud
Do you have the
Christians.
emails on your phone?
I don't think so.
No worries. Let me read these real quick. Let me read this. Okay, hold on. My girl, Piper. I hope that's a girl. Piper Brown. She says, hold on a second. I hope it's a girl. Piper Brown,
Piper.
I'm reading your email. What up, Shaman PD? What up, Piper? I'm 17 and have been homeschooled have been a homeschooled missionary kid from almost my whole life. My dad is a pastor at an international church, and let me tell you, we've had some weird things happen at our church. I hope the following stories make you laugh. There are 3, PD. I'll read the first one,
All right.
and then you'll read the next 2.
Okay.
The first one's called The Bird Catcher. So my dad had a Sunday off, and a guest preacher was going to preach for him at our church. We all, my family and I, still went to our church that Sunday instead of taking a break and going somewhere else. So my dad, of course, was there. So yada, 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 the guest preacher comes with his wife on Sunday, and they're both pretty young, probably in their mid-20s, and very friendly. Little did they know that they would have to help save our service that day. About 20 minutes before the service starts, I hear the sound and walk into the auditorium where we met for our service. I stand in the door, and behold, a large bird with about a 2 feet long tail and a very orange beak, a very parrot-like loud screech, flapping crazily around our room. The guest pastor and his wife are chasing it around with the broom, trying to shoo the bird out the small windows in the back of the room from whence it came in. I really appreciate the use of the term "from whence it came in."
Yeah.
I don't really know. Bless you, PD. I don't really know what to do standing there, since I'm pretty short and would have no chance trying to catch the bird. So I just walk around watching this guest husband and wife try to shoo the bird out of the room. In the process, the bird, bless you again,
Another
PD.
one.
In the process, the bird relieves himself a few times on some of the chairs. It's because you were shooing him. That happens to anybody when you're shooing him. Eventually, the bird gets shooed into the women's restroom next door to the auditorium, and my dad gets called in to try to shoo the bird out of there. The bathroom was unoccupied, of course, by any other people. My dad ended up saving the day by using a mop, I think, and shooing the bird out of the bathroom window. It's safe to say, though, that the guest preacher and his wife probably left our church with an odd first impression. That's a very interesting story. I wish I knew what country this happened with a orange, long-tailed, 2 feet long-tailed bird.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
It would have been funny if the bird was like a sermon prop or something. Or it just went wrong.
They're like, this is the service about Noah and the Ark. This dove is going to perch on my shoulder mid-sermon.
Sydney Opera in church. A couple Christmases ago, a member of our very small church decided that he would show up to our Christmas service. Side note, this man is a professor in a very unusual science. I won't mention the specifics for the children's sake. Anyways, the professor rarely attends our church and is yet still a member. And he decided a couple of years ago that he was going to ask our worship leader if his colleague's aged daughter could sing in our Christmas service. We didn't know what to expect, but we said yes. Apparently, she was very professional, so there we were at the Christmas service when this professor and his daughter walk in. His daughter is in long sleeves and jeans. When it comes time for her to sing during the offering, she gets up, goes to the front, and clasps her hands together in front of her. Her head held high, the music comes on, and it seems to be a string quartet rendition of "O Holy Night." She begins to sing, and we realize with horror that she is singing opera.
Oh. Oh, no.
Her voice quavered.
Quivered?
Was that... She mean quivered?
Maybe.
Throughout our tiny room, and everyone's faces looked shocked. Our little keyboard-only worship was not really comparable with the opera singing. Let's just put it that way. The girl wasn't bad, just out of place. That's with a question mark. The girl wasn't bad, just out of place. After finishing her song and the rest of the service, the young lady and her father left, and they haven't attended our church since.
Oh.
So did it just not go over well? Could they tell?
I wonder if it's one of those things where, yeah, like a lot of people have skills, you are talented, no doubt. But, your talent in this context doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that was one of those contexts.
And next, the inappropriate prayer. The first sentence, I'm going to prepare you guys and give you a heads up. This one is wacko.
Texas?
Yeah, I was about to make that joke. One Sunday at our church, we had one of the more quiet members. We had one of our more quiet members signed up for giving offertory prayer. He headed up to the front with a couple of papers in his hand and proceeded to turn to face the congregation. I was at the table next to him doing the slides. Yep, I have that job. We all bowed our heads in preparation to pray, but we all soon realized that this man was reading from the article he had in his hand. As we continued to listen, thinking it was a prayer he had printed off from somewhere, we all started opening our eyes as we listened. The sermon that we were about to hear after the offering was something completely unrelated to both the offering and this man's prayer, in quotations. Something on baptism or membership. This man was reading to us a prayer on having a healthy sexual relationship with your spouse.
Huh?
My dad and I bugged our eyes at each other. We had no idea this man had chosen to read this article and, more importantly, embarrass himself so blatantly in front of the whole baffled church. After reading the 2-page in-depth article that had us all squirming, the man quietly went back to his seat and our service continued. Needless to say, we never asked him to pray in our service again. We still laugh at how crazy that prayer was, but in quotations, prayer, how crazy it went to this day.
Wait a second. So he was invited to pray. And he read an article
Yeah. Yeah.
about.
So he just went rogue.
So I'm trying to think, was it either this man was clueless or he's a troll?
Yeah.
And a great one at that, to read 2 pages of in-depth.
While everybody had their heads bowed and their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Somebody they said, sorry for such a long email. I've just been dying to send these to y'all. Thanks so much for CSP. I absolutely love every episode. My family gives me these weird looks every time I bust out laughing, which is often when I'm listening to the latest episode. Keep up the awesome work. God bless, Piper.
Thanks, Piper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very funny. A 2-page in-depth article? Man, that's ridiculous.
So that has to be a troll move, right?
That's got to be a troll move. That has to be.
That's why you can't just give anyone a mic.
No. Do we want to talk about that? We talked about it on the show. We were at that conference, a youth conference, and a kid that was in our youth group
I think
wanted to
so.
stand up.
Yeah.
He wanted to say something, and he stood next to the stage, and
well,
I think
he was just standing around, walking around, and then he's up on the stage, and he's just walking around, and he's waiting for his opportunity to grab the microphone.
But then he did have an opportunity, and all he said was God is big.
Yeah.
God is so big.
It was an observation about this song.
It was what were you saying? It is I honestly,
something about God's eyes. It was some observation that he
but it wasn't even it was more of just it was just repeating what was being said.
Yeah.
It was like when worship leaders are what is the song? You called me out upon the waters. And then a pastor will go over and be like, guys, do you believe that today?
Yeah.
Do you believe that God has called you out upon the waters today?
Oh, dude, I have a clip.
What kind of clip is it?
A
pistol clip?
No, I just save things on Reddit if I think they're, relevant to the show. Here's one. This is a pastor doing an ad. This is probably whatever. When did the stimulus checks come out?
May or something.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge. Free rules. Number 1, April the 19th, 2020. It begins. Rule number 2, donate your stimulus money. Rule number 3, donate it to evangelists, North American evangelists who haven't had an offering in a month, missionaries who haven't had an offering in a month, music ministers who haven't had an offering in a month, I'm donating my entire stimulus, $1,200. My wife is donating her stimulus, $1,200. My son is donating his stimulus, $600. Hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge. If you don't have a church, give through my website, www.ltcbr.com, Larry Tango Charlie Baton Rouge.com. I'm here on the Mississippi River. I'm here at Red Stick, Baton Rouge. Hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge.
I like the slick, if you don't have a church, go through my website, because then the donation is just going to him, probably.
So,
Not slick at all.
that is so cringy, man.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You know, I'm really tired of hearing pastors and churches talk about money.
Yeah.
It's just so cringy,
Also,
man.
like, the people need the stimulus checks because they're also not getting money. It's not
we're
like
the
just
same
missionaries.
sinking boat.
Yeah.
But there was also like a whole. I remember my parents used to give to like TBN pastors to be like, "Oh, guys, this is the year. This year, I believe that God is calling 300 people to donate $300 this month to receive a 300% increase in your life, in your family, in your."
Yeah.
And my mom would donate, and I've had great conversations with my mom about that now. But people still believe that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So even something like that where it's like, and then the bad thing is that,
spell stimulus challenge.
man, that is so, but then the trippy thing too is that it comes across as like there's enough truth to almost, it's not even truth, but there's enough stuff that sounds like truth to guilt trip people to be like, oh yeah, I need to donate.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't. Oh man,
It's just so
that
slimy.
Is
That's the
that
way
is
to
so
describe it.
slimy. And then I think what bothered me too is the amount of times that he like repeated it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like
Stimulus
he really
challenge.
wanted you to get it,
And he really wanted to get his
didn't want you to
hashtag
get-
over.
Yeah, like he didn't want you to miss it. Yeah,
And I've got one more. This
Golly,
is
man, this stuff is soundbites. Are making
what
me
did I
mad.
call him in one episode? Loaded diaper piper.
I actually like John Piper. You gotta chill.
That's just a pun in one of the. What was the context of that?
I don't even remember. I think we were just. I don't even know why. You just dropped it. I was like, what the heck?
There had to have been some reason.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
It was part of a bit.
You just said loaded diaper Piper. That's it.
Okay, I will go back and I'll listen to the whole Church Story series. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so John Piper, he's speaking somewhere.
I feel honored and humbled and vulnerable and exposed to speak to the American Association of Christian Counselors. I don't think I could think of any other audience that would be more likely to see straight through a speaker than you
So
would.
you see how they're laughing?
Yeah.
He
And
did
I
not intend for there to be a single laugh during this. So yeah, he's doing his thing.
And I
just
take
keep
that to be a
laughing
good
at what he
thing.
says.
It puts hypocrisy on the table immediately. It makes true horizontally what we all know is true vertically all the time, namely God knows totally all the time whether any speaker is a fraud or a hypocrite, so you may as well know as well if he knows.
It's another laugh.
It's a wake-up call.
Wait a second.
To speak to people like you. I've never done anything like this before. A wake-up call to the realities of pretense in my life, suspecting that any attempt at schmoozing would be known right away.
I'm pretty sure he's trying to be funny.
So I thought I would spare you the
Does he
analysis
say
and
something?
just
He
go ahead
addresses
and
it
tell you
later,
up
yeah.
front that I'm a sinner. And
Shut up.
I'm a man who,
Yeah.
to be more specific, must crucify the love of praise every day.
So then he goes into like a bunch of serious things. Oh, wait, okay.
And feels
So he keeps
constraint on
listing
my
things
spirit in
off.
my own living room. A man who has loved his wife for over 40 years imperfectly and spent 3 of those years with a Christian counselor trying to learn how to be Christ and the church to each other. A man who never feels sure of his motives, including the ones I feel right now about why I'm doing this. And you're a very strange audience because I totally did not expect laughter.
Still laughing.
And I'm continually perplexed. So I guess I'd better just get used to it. This is a serious talk, in case you wonder.
Another big laugh.
But
An applause?
it's strange. So if you just kind of get it out of your system. I know that you've been set up for an hour and a half, maybe a little differently, but I'm just not used to being laughed at, you know?
Why are they laughing?
I guess a lot of it just sounded like punchlines. But he's
What was this under? What subreddit is this?
was under cringe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, why were they laughing though?
I don't know. I guess they just thought he was some of the things were punchlines, but he was just being dead serious.
But that was also like
there was a
that's
lot
like
of
laugh
laughter.
track laughter.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
know.
on cue, like line per line.
It faded a bit in the middle. That's why I skipped through, because he's just listing off things like him needing a counselor and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just funny that like the whole time he meant to be
Especially
serious.
The Christian Council of like counselors or whatever, like a Christian counselors.
Christian Association of these counselors. Or
Why? That is extremely odd.
something. Yeah.
That's super cringy. Because he's not like a funny guy. Like he doesn't. They laughed
Yeah,
a
but I
lot.
watched
They
it at
laughed
the
a
beginning
lot.
and I was like, oh, is he meaning to be funny? Because it's just the way that it seems. It's like, this seems normal. But then when he gets like frustrated at it was the part that I thought was hilarious.
And then he was like, I didn't mean for this to be a funny talk.
Calling
Then they
him-
laugh
calling him
even more.
strange.
And then clap.
Yeah.
Which is like them like doubling down on the that's
He
terrible.
called him strange like 3 times and then like recanted, and he's like, well, I don't want to create like an atmosphere of guilt or something.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's gotta feel bad.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Why were they laughing?
I don't know.
I kind of lose a little bit of faith in Christian counselors if that's how, if they couldn't even read one, if a collective room of them couldn't read one guy on a stage, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, and the stuff about him laughing was killing. Yeah, it's a great set by John Piper. He's done, that set was a lot better than a bunch of open mic sets I've seen.
But he's also talking about die into the flesh and like
Yeah.
all these other terms, and they're like, I'm an imperfect man who loves his wife imperfectly.
He's like, and I'm a sinner.
He's a sinner. He called himself a sinner. Man, that's terrible, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's terrible. I'd hate to be there. I think there's always something about somebody on stage like reprimanding the audience that's always just kind of like, oh, stop, because you feel like a child. You're like, oh, sorry, Dad, like we messed up.
I've got one more clip.
Gosh, you got them back to back.
Yeah, this is this one's titled "Pastor Plays Christian Rap During Service to Show How Worldly It Is."
That started it. One of the main pioneers, and he's saying there's serious problems. We're not even in touch with the church or even the music ministry.
That's what he looks like.
I wonder who's behind it all. Hold on. And we have you for untainted, not worldly. You tell me, is this worldly? Has it been brought down? Is this untainted, or is this worldly? And the question, by the way, when we do this, we don't just play the bad examples. We actually play good examples too and say, now see the difference, hear the difference. we don't have time right now.
What is he about
We
to
Tell
don't-
me, is this
we don't have time for
untainted
that.
or is it worldly?
Oh, but you gotta see him rapping along with it. This looks really racist.
You gotta turn the brightness up. I can't see.
Oh, okay.
You're bringing kids.
And I just played the same clip.
Is he just? That's a Christian rap though. Hold on a second.
Right. What kind of walk do you need to have? I need to be careful.
He just did.
I need to
the
actually
rapper
literally
walk
be
again.
careful because I actually herniated a disc 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was in the hospital. So I'm just praising God. I'm moving before you. Amen. I gotta be careful when I move though. Untainted or worldly? Worldly, absolutely. The reality is we can't take Jesus type lyrics. What was that all about? Well, I'm putting Jesus Christ on display. Don't worry, you're on my level. I'm shut down. Blah blah blah. It's not even a lyrical content that glorifies God anymore these days. So it's worldly. It was not untainted in their efforts.
Oh,
That is super cringe.
what year was that?
If I had to guess,
like
I'm gonna
early
say
2000.
08.
Man, 08 was a different time. Yeah, why did he do the Jesus Christ?
But then,
He did like the
he
hand
goes,
motion.
I gotta
Like
be careful
the,
when I move, and like did his shoulder like that. I was like, it feels a little racist.
we let pastors get away with a lot.
Yeah.
Can I say? Is it? I'm not trying to be like rude. We let white pastors specifically get away with a lot. Like
What
still
was that
they get away
article
with a
that
lot.
Jonathan sent us, like pastor horrified to find out that he peed on a passenger of a plane. Like,
Oh yeah. What did he? How did he pee on somebody again? What the heck was it?
was he just like
Sleepwalking or something?
I don't know. Do we need to go to this article
No,
now?
no, I don't wanna look at it.
Don't get too into it. It's something that the Churchy Awards Committee member Jonathan Wright sent to us.
Oh man. I cannot stand.
Yeah.
I don't even get was his point bashing Christian rap? Like was his point just bashing rap in general?
I think it was the guy who was like bragging about himself.
Oh,
or something
okay.
in one of those lyrics. So it is tainted.
Worldly. It's tainted.
It's
Worldly. World. He said, I got to be careful. No, I seriously got to be careful. I herniated 2 discs.
Yeah,
It's one
like
of those
throws
things
a
where
little
you're
joke in there.
What
Yeah.
the heck? Hey, do you, man? Whatever you herniated, that's up to you, man. You don't gotta. You don't gotta.
I wonder, how do you think? Like, probably just like taking the trash out.
Yeah. Dude, my brother one time broke his leg playing leapfrog.
Really?
Yeah.
Phil needs to get on the show.
Yeah, we do got to bring him on. He listens every week.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime I goof on the edit, he texts me or he'll call me and be like, hey, you messed up.
That's
Phil
good.
is the silent associate producer of the show. We got to have him on. Yeah, they live in Rock Hill now, so we got to get him to drive down here one day.
Yeah. Phil Marema, SAP. Silent assistant producer.
Film Rama, SAP. Yeah, not to be confused with the other producers. Man, I don't even know where to go with these audio drops. I feel like, whoa,
We
weird.
just cap it after that.
What a weird thing, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you think that have you ever seen there's a trend now of preachers, these viral clips of pastors making points online,
Yeah.
and they'll be on Instagram
They're
or
all
a
formatted
pastor.
the same.
They got the subtitles in the middle of the
What
screen.
sucks is when you see the local pastors doing
same
that
thing,
look,
and it's just rough. It's
yeah.
rough with their 20 likes and
and it's
70
always just some
followers.
surface level.
Yeah, it's and
really dumb.
Jesus, he
Yeah.
called Peter to walk out on the
You
water.
know who the worst about it
He
is?
walked and Peter stepped out. I don't know what kind of boat you're in today,
Yeah, that's it.
but you need to step out. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all need to step out because God is. And it's kind of dude, it's the text on the screen and the waves and the lightning and
let's call out 2 people. The worst for this that I found, aggressive Instagram ads. I remember I had to block.
Do we
his
know this
page.
person? Wait a second. Hold on.
No, this is just a celeb pastor.
They had sponsored posts.
Yeah.
Sponsored posts. The celeb pastor.
His name is Jeremy Foster. Yeah, all the time. Like,
Oh,
sponsored
I've
all
seen
over
this guy.
Instagram.
Is he like a Tennessee pastor or something like that?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, dude, yeah. I remember getting ads for this, and I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna go to your church
Here we
in
go.
Houston, Texas.
Jesus
brother.
is leaving Jericho with his disciples. And there's some blind men, two blind men that hear about
Can I see
Jesus.
subtitles
they
in the
hear what
middle?
he's able
A
to
Hawaiian
do.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
And so as Jesus is coming by, they begin to shout out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me.
Keep watching.
And the people
IGTV.
try to quiet them, but Jesus is like, hey, I'm the waymaker. Bring them to me. They come to Jesus, and Jesus asks, quite possibly,
Can you fast
the
forward to
most
the end?
ridiculous
Like the last 10
question. And look at him go, we're doing good, Jesus. This is my wife. These are my kids. You don't act right. This is Jesus.
seconds. Ooh, Lord.
Quit hitting your brother. This is Jesus.
This is Jesus.
I wonder how many of us would go, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And they said, when he said,
Jesus,
what do you need? They weren't sarcastic. They weren't like, well, Jesus,
Swells up.
new card, be great, thanks. They said that we might see at some point you've got to be honest about the hard place that you are in. Listen, if you don't recognize your own brokenness, how can you ever be healed?
Yeah. Ooh.
Recognize your brokenness.
I guess that's good.
Yeah. The other guy.
I cannot stand stuff like that, dude. I mean, honestly, like, is it bad to say I'm like sermoned out, dude? Is that bad? Like, I love the Lord, and I love my pastor, and I love his messages because they're real. You know, he's like, hey, we're going through Galatians, and I'm like, dude, I appreciate that. Let's talk about the fruit of the Spirit. Let's talk about patience this Sunday of election. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know and be reminded of all those things. But then there are all these other guys who are, you know, it's like, and Jesus. When they get loud, they always back away from the microphone. That's it. That's my impression of a megachurch pastor. It's like, and Mary sat at Jesus' feet. Martha was working. She was scrambling. She was doing all those things. But Mary, then they get really low and they talk and they whisper when they're trying to make a point because Mary sat at Jesus' feet and learned. And some of y'all are doing a lot. You're doing too much. But Jesus wants you at his feet. He wants you to learn. He wants you to grow. He wants you to abide.
Yeah.
That's it, right? It's like
it. You
that's
just
all the
need
tone.
the
That's like
music and the little panels on the side,
the
and you
little
need the text in the middle.
text in the middle.
And these,
I might do that. Just for the pod. I might do.
So there's this other guy,
a fake pastor, IG story.
Well, that's what Random Action Verb Church is.
Yeah, it is. But honestly, like Random Action Verb Church, I haven't made the jokes that I really want to make. I've not made yet.
Oh, we should do that.
I know. It's been surface level stuff, and I'm like, I want to say the things that I really want to say.
This guy, I call him Christian Jack Black.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, he's like the worship leader. He's like the worship leader.
Guru is like but that's what he's like framed himself
every time
as.
I see, I shouldn't bully people online. But we're gonna show the video.
Well,
every time I've seen him online, I'm like, dude, what is this Jack Black? What is homeschool Jack Black doing?
He's always posting like Q&As of himself,
talking to other people.
Yeah,
like people asking him questions,
or it's just him filming himself.
Well, he did a lot of stuff where he was just like selfie videos, but now he's moved on to this Gary V format.
Yeah,
of just kind of like, hey, how do you grow as a worship leader? And he's like, I'll tell you how I grew.
Yeah,
by not sitting still.
Oh, here's one. Never become a professional.
Oh, should we cure
the Israelites didn't perish for lack of wonders. They perished for lack of wonder. It's not that they didn't have all these miracles. It's that they didn't live in wonder. A big part of learning the why of worship is we need to approach God in a childlike way. What childlikeness does in worship is it allows us to receive the mysteries of God. When we become professionals, we can't receive the mysteries of God. But when we're childlike, when we live in the place of wonder, then we can receive the fullness of the mysteries of God, because he uses the foolish
to
teach and to confound the wise.
Do you want to know what the format is? Let me tell you the formula. This is like the Will Smith formula. You know, it's like the whole like online gurus. Let me tell you the formula. Here it is. Take something, flip it on its head, right? So it's like, you know, everybody's like work hard and hustle. And I can go, don't work hard. work less.
Yeah.
So then that's the title. It's like some of y'all are working too hard. You're not spending time with your family. My dad died a multimillionaire, but I didn't know my dad. So what I want to tell you, I want you to work less. You can be productive by working less. And then it kind of goes in and you're like, oh, dang, yeah, he's kind of making a point, but he's kind of not saying anything at all. So it's like all these dudes. Dude, there's a guy
but it's something like work less, but work with intention.
It's like, dude, I saw this. I'm friends with them on Facebook. But I don't know them. I don't really know them like that. They just added me. It's this church. They're doing a series called What Would Jesus Undo? What would Jesus undo?
If Jesus was doing this project on his Mac,
yeah,
what would he undo?
What would he undo? Yeah, what would Jesus undo? And I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. Like, how long did it take for somebody to like flip the switch and be like, God wants to undo some things in you. He's undo things in you to make you black and blue like a goo.
There's a really funny
like
parody of this by Words Played, the artist.
Oh, dude, Words Played. He is so freaking funny. He's doing that. It's what is it called? What is his name of this company that he started or whatever?
I don't know. This is the
Why are you covering just half of your opportunities? I love Dave Ramsey. I love John Maxwell. Really good guys. Kind of religious, but that's okay. But the biggest mistake I see people
pause because it happens. The big mistake Dave Ramsey and John Maxwell are making. So it's like he's clearly parodying these people.
Making is listening to those guys and thinking angel investors are the only investors worth going to. Angels are mentioned all throughout the Bible, 4,700 times in the Bible. Angels are mentioned. What people are forgetting is demons are mentioned twice as many times in the Bible. 9,100 times demons are mentioned. So there's angel investment. What about demon investment? Demon investors are the guys that are getting down into the mud. They are the bottom feeders. I'm talking Better Business Bureau, IRS is raining hell down on a business, and demon investors are there to bail them out with the golden parachute. Where's your demon investor? Why are you covering just half of your opportunities? Angel investors, there's twice as many demon investors out there. MLMs. Have you tried talking to any of them?
You know, it's like with the same template, you could say just about anything.
Yeah, and then like if you actually look into like the logic will just fall in on itself.
It freaking crumbles. Yeah.
But then also, like what that dude was talking about, like don't be professional. We need to be in wonder like a child. Well, people got to show up on time. Like, if it's just we're all in wonder.
So I was like, it's like professional. So that's like the. See, I think especially just like in the community of faith, which I'm gonna speak on because we've been in it, right? Mm-hmm. Is that every now and then somebody will hype on another thing, but then it's not like the main thing. So then people are like, don't be a professional. So then you have people showing up late, and then somebody will come along like, guys, the Beatles didn't make it to where they were by showing up late. The Beatles played 12-hour shows a night in the U.S. to bars, and nobody knew who they were before they became the Beatles. So it's like one of those things where we're like, okay, well, we gotta stick to it there. We gotta figure out what we want to do. But if you use these like exaggerated analogies, they all run out of gas, right? The wheels fall off, and then you gotta freaking build another. Yeah,
if that's what you're like building up your content as it's all Q&As. Like, where does he do all these Q&As?
But I think he's like a Bethel guy. So
and he also has his own like monthly subscription, like worship leader type.
That's what I don't under. What's like. So when I think, I get frustrated about this stuff because I think people think that's what we could do. Like, that's what we should do is like when people mention like using your platform online, I think that's what people mean is like, turning on Instagram and just being like, guys, can I just be real with you guys? Can I be real with you guys? Can I be real with you? Like, today's been a sucky Monday. Can I just say that? Can I just say that? Like this Monday has not gone my way. But you know what? Like, I had a cup of coffee and I got down on my knees. So it's kind of like, dude, like, that's not. Does everybody got to do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm wondering. But there's just a plethora of that now. Like Will Smith preaches online. Freaking Gary Vaynerchuk preaches. All these guys do this. Like, I dove out of a plane, tandem to somebody to skydive to overcome something that I had been fighting my whole life. And it's like, dude, you went skydiving. You had a good time. All right. You enjoyed it. Did you have a great time? That's it. You had a great time. Like, don't try to milk it. Don't milk it dry. You went skydiving. You were kind of scared. That doesn't need to be a 12-minute video.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just all the analogies, all the clickbait titles and stuff.
I'm tired of it, dude.
Yeah.
I really am. And that's another thing too. It's like you just kind of scroll by it. Like once you figure out like the template, it's like once you figure out ads online, it's like, we're gonna like, shh. Are you losing your hair? You're like, all right, I know the formula. So it's like, it's like somebody holding up a cue card, like, I'm ugly. And you're like, all right, I get the ad, whatever Facetune ad or whatever.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Yeah.
Let's throw it back to
Say it.
SpongeBob. Dude, do you remember Sponge Core?
Yes, I do. It was a thing we used to play at my house, didn't we?
We went through where we'd like play Sponge Core on the way to go to a restaurant or something.
What a weird time.
Should I pull that up?
You know what I was just thinking of too? Is we've never talked about this on the show, was that I was in youth ministry when I was like a volunteer. I was super into pop music, and you all made fun of me because y'all loved Skillet, and I would like.
I thought other people were on board with it with you.
No, it was like just a couple of the girls, like Alexis, Madison, like they were fans of pop music.
Y'all would ride around and play the Frozen soundtrack and like Taylor Swift and
or
stuff.
like freaking whatever,
Miley
Ariana
Party in the
Grande
USA.
or Miley, all these other pop songs. But then like I really liked Ariana Grande, and you were like, this is terrible. Turn this off. You've been to 3 Ariana Grande
I've only
concerts.
been to one.
One?
Yeah, only
You've
one.
got way too much merch though. You got a lot of Ariana Grande merch.
This is one thing. I have the long sleeve Dangerous
Just the
Woman
one?
tour. Yeah.
You got a poster?
No, I did have a confetti dollar.
In my brain, you're a much bigger Ariana Grande fan.
Well, no, I'm a big Ariana Grande fan.
You made a
in the
180.
sense that I could like do a 10-part podcast series about her discography. Like that's the yeah. It's
very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Like I actually like
her
music.
Her production, new album, the production on that album, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insanely good. My wife, we were leaving freaking Dairy Queen, and when I was playing some Ariana Grande, she was like, I don't like her songs, and I was like, what?
There's a lot of hate from women.
And I was like,
about her.
And I was like, what? So I had to take her back. I had to pull up Honeymoon Avenue and play Honeymoon like title track. And I was like, listen to this. And I was like, listen to the freaking
listen to Tattooed Heart. Come on.
Listen to Tattooed Heart.
Give Ariana a chance.
Come on. Freaking the freaking with the Childish Gambino feature. I'm like, man, this is. Guys, that's it. This is officially an Ariana Grande stan podcast going forward.
I thought about starting one.
Just an Ariana Grande podcast? No, seriously, like dude, the producers on those songs are like, God, it is insane. Like
I thought about
doing the most.
At some point I'll do a side podcast where it's only like the only time new episodes will come out will be if she dropped a new project.
Can you just do one a year?
Yeah.
No, she had 2 albums this year, right?
That was last year, but she always puts out singles. Like every year, there's gonna be at least one single. So it feels like she's always doing stuff. She'll put out like 3 different singles with other people, and then an album.
Our music is so good that I don't even follow. I follow the people who make her who work on her music. That's how I'm like. This is it's such a well-oiled machine of like the writers and granted, okay. She does have some songs that are, a little more vulgar, but the production on them, I listen to clean versions. The albums that I download on my phone, to each their own. I don't even know. So the bleeps, the whatever words they change around, cool with me. I don't care. But the production on them is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Thank You Next is my album of the year last year.
Dude, yeah. Oh my gosh, man. It's crazy. And I think people thought, what's her name? Victoria Justice would have a better career than she did.
Yeah.
So comical.
I think I've played the clip on the show before, but when they were all standing
they were
around.
like, we're all singers. We all sing.
We all sing.
We're all talented. And Ariana Grande, just freaking lapped the competition, man.
And go look this up for yourself. but all the listeners. But there's this hilarious. It's like Ariana and The Weeknd did a duet, an acoustic duet, and she cut him off like during one of his vocal runs, and he just gives her like the most angry look.
Really?
Yeah.
What was this? Was this an award show?
I think it's just like a Vivo, like y'all do an acoustic song together thing. And he was singing, and then she starts, and you see him just look over at her like
angry?
Yeah.
Like, was it like a joke? And I was like,
I don't think so. You know, they
Really?
probably have huge egos.
That's very funny. I gotta go find it. That's very funny. Yeah. It's interesting that people in that space would also have big,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
They have to.
Yeah,
because it's like Kanye. They have to be like surrounded with a bunch of yes men.
So I'll say this. We gotta wind that.
Yeah.
Is it I think here's my issue. I'll say this is my issue with the modern like church culture and church Instagram influence culture is that the world does it a whole lot better. Is that bad to say? Is that we're borrowing from the world and the world has already like perfected it, So when I see it done in the church, I'm just kind of like, guys, we got to do something different. We got to come different.
That is its own niche genre.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
Pastor clips.
It is, yeah. But it is like it's one of those things that it is just the whole like it now it's just like it's people do things for social,
Yeah.
And the Bible doesn't work like that. Context is important, So to even create a sermon with the idea of like, oh, this is gonna be a clippable moment is like, we went to we've been to a church where like a pastor was like, put that on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like no, dude. I was
like, he used to say a hashtag tweetable moment.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Dude, I was at a church. This was so cringy, man. I was at a church. I'm not gonna say where. They're family friends.
Durham, North Carolina.
Durham, North Carolina. My friends Jim and Jackie Johnson. I just doxed them. No. It was I was at a church, and the guys who works on staff there stood up, and he goes this is so, it's such a church thing. Church culture, church stage presentation is just all about asking dumb questions. How many of y'all like Starbucks? Can I get some, stuff like that? Like, how many of y'all like Chick-fil-A? Right? How many of y'all are excited to be in the house of the Lord this morning? It's like dumb, like just stupid rhetorical questions like that. Mm-hmm. And this guy's like, how many of y'all got phones? How many of y'all got Facebook? This is how he started, dude. This is like the meet and greet time. He's like, how many of y'all on Facebook? How many got phones right now? Hey, can everybody just take their phone out right now? And we want you to go to blank church. And can you just what do you say? Sign in. Just check in right now. Can you just check in and let people know that you're here in the house of the Lord this morning? Dude, I remember I was sitting in like the back. It was like a theater type seating. And I looked over and like nobody had their phone out. It was so, it was like, we were all collectively like, they talk about like group mind of like an audience. It's like the audience group mind was like, get the heck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
And it was so cringy for that he thought that this was gonna work, that he was like, I'm gonna try this thing.
Yeah.
And we were all just kind of like,
we're not clogging our timelines with this.
It was so, but it was stuff like that where it's kind of like, churches like, I feel like church culture like rarely reads the room. So when church was like, and Jesus, he was nailed between two sinners. I'm just gonna keep on doing this. I'm just gonna bust it too. And one of them ignored him, and the other one said, "God, remember me."
Yeah. Amen. Hashtag
remember me.
Hashtag tweetable moment. Hashtag share.
And some of you are forgetting to talk to. Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. Man, these past 2 episodes we've been going in too much, man. We got to pull back. We got to save some fuel for 2021.
Church stories at night.
Church stories at night. Because I'm gonna edit these during the day, and I'm like, whoa, what did we say? Cut that out. Just kidding. We're not cutting out anything.
Yeah.
All right. Good having you, PD.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks
For having me. It's good
you
to
got
be
a praise
here.
report? It's the end of Movember.
My praise report is that I went to a pro wrestling show. Hold on. I wore a mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you were about to say virtually, and I was like, get out of here.
Nope. Kyle hit me up. He said there's a wrestling show called Pro Wrestling Turbo in Greer. And I was like, why not? You know what? I'll wear.
Turbo?
I got temperature checked. I wore a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept,
Was it like an indie show?
Yeah, it was.
Were there a lot of people?
More than I thought were gonna be there for sure.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, I bet like 20, 30 people would be here. But I got there, it was more like 50 people.
Dang.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was fun. I bought some pork bellies and mac and cheese.
Dude, that sounds really good right now.
Yeah.
Pork belly's really good.
So I mean, when I was thinking about going, I was like, you know what? Like, I can't be shamed for this, because if protesting is fine for everyone to do,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna go see pro wrestling.
Well, it's also just you just can't be bullied into a you know. We went to visit some friends in Oklahoma. Well, we didn't like post about it or anything, but like we love our friends, and we talked about going, and we were hanging out with them. They're like, man, like we've missed you guys, and I was like, guys, you know, the only other place we've traveled together as a family this year is we saw them at a conference in Tennessee. So I was like, it's Tennessee in February. We've been nowhere at home. And we came out. So it's almost like, you know, of course we're careful, wore masks the whole time, you know.
I heard somebody call it like the COVID circle of trust that people have. Like, there's like certain people where you're just kind of like, I think they're good.
Yeah.
And then other times they'll be wearing a mask. I feel like just
circle, COVID circle. What is the thing where, you know, sometimes like you'll meet somebody and I'll meet a stranger and I'll like go to fist bump them. They're like, how you doing, man? And I'm like, oh, I gotta shake your hand now, dog.
Yeah.
I trust you, dog. You're
working at a restaurant.
I better not get a phone call later like, brother, check yourself, get checked.
I just feel like, you know, living in South Carolina, especially like working in a restaurant, just a COVID time bomb, probably. Hope not.
No,
I wash my hands, use hand sanitizer a lot, keep the mask on, but
stay masked.
I just
Mask
see like
up.
all these people eating, and I'm just like, one of these people is gonna have it eventually.
Well, it's also
like,
another thing too. I'm not trying to get into like politics or whatever. But I mean, you've worked when the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
I've worked
because I don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice either. So it's one of those things when, you know, and I've felt bad when people have shamed people online, like stay home, and I'm like, guys, I mean, the beginning of quarantine was like depressing for me just because I thought, oh, like my father-in-law's name is Mark Todd, and Grace and I have had some low points, but I'm like, I always tell Grace, I'm like, I don't want to get a Mark Todd loan, you know? And that's one thing that I was thinking of. Like, I'm like, I don't, and luckily we got the stimulus check, and I'm like, whatever we do, I don't want us to have to ask for a Mark Todd stimulus check. Yeah. But I love my father-in-law, and that's just a thing that I'm like, you know, I never want us to reach that point. And he was like, hey guys, if you ever, just let me know if you need help.
And not to get political or anything, but I'm all about another lockdown as long as you send the money our way, have us watch Netflix.
Not gonna send the money, dude. They sent $1,200.
If it gets approved that like money can be sent and it's somehow
How much? They're not gonna send it. The cavalry isn't coming.
I just wanna eat ice cream again and get paid to do it.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's been a bummer. Yeah, so it's been one of those things when like people like talk about like, you know, hey, what you need to do. Even that whole like celebrity, you know, celebrities telling us to, you know, telling us what to do. It was kind of like, brother, like quarantining in your, it was like the Kim Kardashian post where like, I had a birthday party on a private island with my friend, you know, just my closest. And it's kind of like, dude, that's a privilege. Like, and I'm not using the term privilege as to like shame anybody, but you know, being able to stay home and be comfortable and live off of your savings, that, you know, that I'm not gonna say privilege. It's a blessing. Yeah. But some of us don't have that, you know, that blessing. Some people are like, stay home and save lives. I'm like, dude, like if the phone rings, I'm gonna go. If I see that S symbol in the sky.
Yeah.
My people need me.
I mean, there are definitely
I gotta feed my family.
Things that are shameable, like that video of the bar in Florida where they're all going dun, 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 dun. You're like, you know what?
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Shame these people.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna go. At least with things as bad as they are, I'm not gonna go to a large gathering without a mask. But if pro wrestling's coming back to town, I'm gonna mask up.
Yeah, mask up.
Yeah.
But doing this podcast,
no mask.
Tiny room, no mask.
COVID circle of trust.
Circle. We should call this one. Yeah, I don't know. We should call the one about COVID circle. No. People would be like, wait a second. Would we get one of those like the disputes? This podcast has been.
Yeah.
This podcast has not been proven honest. What's your praise report?
My praise report is that I got to see pro wrestling.
Feels good to do something normal, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my first wrestling show in a while.
You ever walked into a store and forgot your mask for just a brief second? Just for a brief second, you lived in a world where you just walk into places without masking up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a jerk. I wish people would be like, sir, and I'm like, just like, dude, like, genuinely, like, no, we're on the same team here, but just for a second, just for a brief moment in time, just everything was normal to my brain, and then it wasn't. I'm quickly reminded. I'm like, okay, things are different.
I like feeling like extra hidden.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're like a little, somebody said, I think somebody on Twitter. Somebody this is earlier on. Twitter was like, I feel like a sexy ninja.
And on that note,
he's gonna bounce. No, guys. This is what's my praise report? I'm thankful for December. Yeah, the year's winding down, but listen, I know the year's not over. Stuff isn't over because the year's ending, but thankful for we made it. This podcast made it. We've done okay.
Yeah.
This has been a weird episode of Church Stories.
Aren't we all a little bit?
I mean, yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for doing Mormon November if you did it.
If you did it, and if you didn't, see you next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Join us.
Adios.
I was like, what if we just end it with silence and then can't after that never come back, never do that. All right, see ya.
I'm donating my entire stimulus.